Getting straight to it, if I had drip like this, I'd probably go around wiping people out of existence too. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's not act like he not drippy, y'all. On this channel, we have managed to cover in some way part 1, 2, and 3 of Jojo. So we're gonna take a road trip to part 4 to talk about Yoshikage Kira. Ugh, even the name sounds drippy. Okay. I'm doing tricks on it. Let me stop. I'm sorry. I think at this point I'm starting to more accept my role for being the villain advocate that I am when I say that this man Kira has done nothing wrong. All the drip god wanted to do was move into a nice little quiet suburb and mind his own business. Did he steal a couple hands in the process? One or two of them, maybe, not too much. But at the end of the day, don't we all have our little weird hobbies we like to partake in? Oh my gosh, I'm looking at this man's chart. He got a lot of bodies on this. When you're watching part 4, something that gets you hooked on Kira is the whole idea that he's really committed to this I'm just a normal dude in the neighborhood type of shtick. By the way, in case it wasn't obvious earlier, I was joking when I said that this guy did nothing wrong. This is the type of person that you call the cops and tell them to check his floorboards. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I forgot. There's no point in calling the cops because they won't find anything. Just in case you didn't know, this dude blows up anybody who gets in his way. In an alternate universe where Kira got the proper mental help that he desperately needed, I like to think that he'd probably be a very nice guy. Unfortunately for Kira though, he got the short end of the stick and he is just another main antagonist from the mind of a deranged man. A deranged man that is nothing short of a genius. The way that Kira's story is designed and told is so cultivating and clever that it's hard to look away from. And before you misunderstand me, I'm not saying that his story is complex and multi-layered where you need to be tapped in to understand what's happening, but more of like, in the sea of DOs and pillarmen, this guy's motivation for why he does what he does is kind of boring. And don't get me wrong, I love Kira as a character, but the idea behind him is kind of like, after going through part 1, 2, and 3 and having to deal with world domination and the eradication of entire bloodline, and you see Kira and you're just like, this is the dude we've been looking for? That man over there walking down the street in his Louis loafers and that freshly ironed Gucci suit. Like, no, let's legitimately stop for a second and go down the checklist of what usually makes a Jojo villain. Wait. What do you mean this man doesn't care about world domination? He doesn't know who the Joestars are and he doesn't have an unhealthy obsession with the downfall of their family? Hold on, what do you mean he doesn't constantly do absurd poses and show off his 10-pack? You see what I'm saying? This dude is so out of the norm of the actual Jojo villains that we're used to that when it's time for the gang to find him, nobody knows what they're looking for. Listen, in an alternate universe where that maniac Araki wasn't the one calling all the shots, I like to think that Kira would be that one dude that you might go bowling with. He might have been the guy that you might contact because he's the hookup for your fake J's. For some lucky lady out there in an alternate universe, this could have been the guy that she brought to go meet her parents. But of course, this man Araki couldn't control himself, turning him into some sort of hand fetish demon and making him go around strapping C4 to people's chests like this is Black Ops 2. Now let me stop beating around the bush and let's get straight to talking about this man's stand. This dude's stand is probably one of the most OP I've ever seen. And trust me, there are a lot of OP stands in Jojo, but this one is ridiculous. Hands down, Killer Queen is my favorite stand in the entire series. There is no debate on it. It is #1. The ability to make anything that is alive or not alive into a bomb will always be raw as shit. Case in point, when he went up against Shigeki and he sent that man straight to the pearly gates. And you know, I think this is the start of when it started to seep in how scary this man was and how scary his stand was, because when he used it on Shigeki and he got that boy up out of there was no evidence left behind that that stand was even in use. There was no evidence left behind that Shigeki was even standing there on the other side of that door. Josuke had no idea. That was a scary moment, and honestly I think it solidified how much I love this stand. Now at the same time, on the other side of the coin, Bites the Dust was absolutely bonkers. Now, if I remember correctly, you guys can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong or not, but I think this was like the first awakening in the entire series. So the fact that this stand was already strong and his awakening made it even stronger, I'm not gonna lie to you, I loved it, but it was such a crazy upgrade. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about Bites the Dust, which is one of the abilities that Killer Queen can actually activate. See, the thing about this bomb is that it was designed specifically for Kira, in the sense that anybody looking for this man or anybody who was threatening this man's life, this bomb would be activated whenever it sensed it. This bomb would be placed on a carrier, and anybody who had found out his true identity would immediately be blown away. Now, that's not even the craziest part of the stand. The craziest part of the stand has to be the fact that after finding out what his identity was and being blown to smithereens, that ability would immediately spin back time an hour. Like, I don't know. I'm trying my hardest to make this not seem like it's made up. This is a legitimate ability. I remember at the time I was thinking to myself, we're cooked. We're cooked. I'm like, how do you catch somebody like that? So he literally has an ability that makes it so that we can't catch him and we can't fight him until we figure out who he is. So how are we gonna fight this man? I will say though, that going back in time part of the ability did kind of mess up his win in the end, because you know, you can joke and say that Pucci won in the end because technically he did, but like when we're talking about someone like Kira, if he had actually just made it like if the ability was just a normal bomb and it didn't spin back time, he could have offed like every one of those characters looking for him. But that spinning back time ability really did screw him in the end. But hey, regardless though, I feel like we went off track for a second. Let's get back to the drip.
Drip God alert. Drip God alert. Drip God alert.
No,
Drip God
it can't
alert.
be. Is that the drip god? This ain't no Victoria's Secret fashion show, but Kira, I see you. Like, let's be honest, he got that shit on though. Hold on, Unk. Hold on, Unk. Don't stun on him too hard now. Not the waves, not the waves. Hold on, this man looking too drippy. I am literally doing tricks on it. I am so sorry, bro. Let me get up on my knees. Big shout out to my boy Jupiter to Venus. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gotten the idea for this video. He had requested it a couple weeks back, and he's been one of the biggest supporters in the cult. So thank you a lot, Jupiter, man. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video too. You comment down below how you feel about Kira, how you feel about Killer Queen. You feel me? How you feel about Jojo at all? What's your favorite stand? If you guys got any recommendations for the next videos, let me know. Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Join the cult. You know, join the family. We love accepting new members, and I think that's it for me. I don't got no intros. I don't got no outros. So that's it for today, I guess. Deuces, y'all. I'll see you next week.